Salute, salute. Salute to the internal, indigenous, spiritual, most high. Trolls only God and your mama can love you. Last but not least, one time, in remembrance of Beaver, brother in the cut, Jimmy McNair, fly high soldier, fly high big bro. Here we go, here we go. Where's we go? I needs my shillings so I can troll. And troll we must. We have to get this in. It seems like every time there's a big case that involves racial overtones, undertones, or in this case, overtones, um, there's always evidence that's suppressed and left out after the verdict is delivered. And it's always evidence that can change the outcome of the verdict. Now, a lot of people like to argue that systemic racism doesn't exist in this country. I want to hear those same people argue that after they hear this clip from Tim Black. After you hear the information that was hid from the jury, after you hear the evidence that the judge had knowledge of and didn't paint the perfect picture of Rick Chow. No further ado, let's get into it. Secret evidence the jury never heard in the Rick Chow verdict. This is Tim Black TV on YouTube. I had the playback speed kind of high, so let me make sure it's not too fast for everyone. All right, it's normal. Let's go.
Do people want the truth or not? Sometimes I don't know. You know, as people look at this Cyrus Belton Rick Chow case and they're trying to make a determination, they're only looking at the last couple seconds of it. That's all they're analyzing. They're saying, hey, did this guy have a fear of his life or his son's life from this 14-year-old? That's it. That's
Insatiable. What's good, brother? Thanks for joining me. Good evening, my man.
all. And they're packing up and they're going home after that. But see, me, what I want us to look at in this video is the fact that they suppressed evidence, and that suppressed evidence is the boogeyman in the room. Not the jury, definitely not Cyrus Belton, but that evidence. See, right now they got it framed like we got this poor shop owner who's always under fire, and the mean blacks are trying to rob him all the time, and he's just trying to make a living, and him and his son.
Y'all go subscribe to Tim Black TV on YouTube, man. You know, fair use, educational purposes, literary purposes, commentary purposes, all of that YouTube. Y'all go subscribe as y'all come in. Please hit that like button. Subscribe. We are on the way to 5K subscribers. Be a part of that. And ladies and gentlemen, we going in. Hit that like button as you come in, please.
Were scared out of their minds. So they reacted as best they could in the moment. And if you allow that narrative to be the only narrative that's laying there, well, of course, juries might be swayed by that. But what if there's more evidence that points to something a little bit different? That shows a pattern of Mr. Chow's activities over the years that show this guy, he was destined to take a life. He'd been trying to take a life since 2013. He finally succeeded, and you gave him a pass. The suppressed evidence is why. Let's watch this clip together. For anybody who has not seen the film, there'll be no shooting in this, but it will show you what led up to that fateful moment. Let's go.
This motherfucker pay only $10 a month for the unlimited internet.
Of course, y'all know I can't
Have you heard
show
about
it.
Ryoko Pro? This is the cutting-edge portable
Of course, you know I
Wi-Fi
can't show
hotspot
it.
that people wish they.
So at this point, they're just showing the surveillance of when they follow him around with the bottle. Y'all know I have to light my incense. Okay, we're not here to discuss sports, but thanks for joining us. As we come in, hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. So right now, he's just showing us surveillance footage of where they was watching him in the store, trailing him, profiling him. No one understands that this young man knew he was being. Excuse me. This young man knew he was being watched. He knew he was under surveillance. He could clearly, everything got quiet in the store. As many times he walked in front of those glass cooler doors, he saw her reflection, which is why he trolled her. Okay? He was trying to expose them. That was a kind of like, he was 14, ladies and gentlemen. So that was going to be his aha, sight, gotcha moment, to them for profiling him. If you watch the footage close, he approaches the cooler door. When he finally opens it, he touches his hoodie pocket. We all know his hoodie had a pocket in the front. He touched his hoodie pocket. She's posted up right behind him. He opens the door. He grabs 4 bottles of water, touches his hoodie pocket again, waits for a minute, puts them back slowly. All 4, he put them back slowly. When he closed the door, he touched his pocket one more time, and that's when she said something to him. So he was trolling them. He knew that he was being watched. That was going to be a gotcha moment for him. He was going to laugh with his friends, and go on about his life. Except he was chased out of the store, allegedly for stealing a $1 bottle of water. This kid should still be alive. Didn't steal anything. And you're going to chase a kid out of a store for a $1 bottle of water, but you have a safe in there. You have thousands of dollars worth of merchandise in there and cash registers. But it was more important to chase a 14-year-old over an alleged stolen bottle of water that he never had. Fast forward. We've all saw the footage.
Because they think he took a bottle of water. He didn't threaten anybody. He didn't approach anybody. He didn't intimidate anybody. He didn't do anything except leave their store.
Had a firearm on his person, which I'm really starting to question how it got there. It sounds like a setup to me. But if he did have this firearm on his person, this guy never committed a crime, never held up the store, never did anything other than being mannerable and respectful. Enter the store, exit the store. When he was told to put his backpack on the ice cream bin, the blue bin, he complied. He replied, Bobby, shut up. Shut up. I can't wait till one of your children die or you die. So I can go to your funeral and slap everybody in your family allegedly and tell them to stop playing perpetual victims. I can't wait. You racist, man. Shut the hell up. I don't know why y'all bring y'all snow roach ass in here. Shut up. Damn Neanderthal. Better yet, I ain't got to shut you up. I can get you up out of here.
And for that, he got chased beyond a football field. And then they say they had to shoot him because they were afraid of him. Now, the defense convinced the jury that poor Rick.
A kid is shot in the back and unalive, and this fool in here talking about perpetual victim. Shut up and let the sun burn you. Die from cancer.
Chow, just a poor retailer just trying to make it happen in the big city where a bunch of bad people robbed from him, and he has to protect his way of life. And more than that, on this particular day, he had to protect his son because his son was under threat of this 14-year-old. that this 14-year-old was about to take his life.
How are you under a threat to lose your life when you chase this man 130, come on, 130 yards from the store? More of a distance than a football field? But now you're in danger and you had to save your son's life. You all could have saved your life, saved your time, and saved your breath, and not even left your establishment. That's why you have cameras. That's why there's 911. But you're going to find out that this guy never ever calls 911. He handles everything himself. Everything himself. They place these people in our community and watch what they hid from the jury. See, they were so busy complaining about the charge didn't fit. But they didn't paint a picture of Rick Chow's past. You know, the same way they do us. You know, they're going to show Carmelo Anthony's mugshot picture everywhere. You're going to see the Metcalf boy, the I don't remember his name, the one that should have kept his hands to himself, Austin Metcalf. You're going to see him in football gear, hunting gear, all of this stuff to humanize him. All the time, they're busy trying to dehumanize Carmelo Anthony. And these are the games they play when it's black involved, y'all. Whether black is in the wrong or black is in the right. And in both of these cases, black was actually in the right. Let's go.
And Mr. Chow swooped in and saved the day by doing what he felt he had to do to save his son from being shot by the 14-year-old. So that's all the jury had to go on, was the witness statement by the son saying he saw the young man with a gun and he pointed the gun at him. And he was so afraid he told his dad, and his dad protected him. Well, what if I told you there was more to the story that they didn't want the jury to know about?
There's always more to the story. These people stick together. Hard Luck Way, what's good? What's good? Late Night Skies, what's good? These people always stick together. There's always lies. There's always evidence suppressed. There's always been systemic racism, and there always will. Always will. Wait until you hear what they failed to tell these jurors. They're a whole time they're sitting here with, and I'm listen, the attorney for the family, the attorney for Troy Belton, that boy need to be stoned allegedly. You let this get by, and you could have painted a very clear picture of who Rick Chow was and the danger that not only Cyrus Belton was in, but the danger that all of our children are in every time they enter one of his establishments. This guy was a hunter of black people. You know what I'm saying? He was a hunter, y'all. I'm not just making that up. Y'all are going to hear it. He's been hunting us for a long time. He wanted to get rid of us just like Chubb the Builder wanted to get rid of us. And they hid all of this information. Watch this. Since they don't want to put his history out there, you know black social media is going to put his history out there. They're going to do it to us, so we're going to do it to him. Watch this.
I told you that the judge had crucial evidence that puts a totally different complexion on this. What if I told you in 2013 a similar situation happened at the store? What if I told you in 2013 Mr. Chow said someone tried to steal a beer out of his store, so he had to shoot at him? What if I told you in 2015 that Mr. Chow fired 6 shots into a car as it was driving away because somebody in the car stole a beer?
And I actually covered that in yesterday's live stream. Watch how many occurrences. This is already 2 occurrences. All right. This is before Brother Cyrus. 2 occurrences in 2013.
Okay, he didn't call the cops. He just sat in the car. No arrest.
He let loose in the car. Plop, 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 plop. Over a $6 beer. Never called the police. Never dialed 911. No arrests. Cameras. Audio. He's supposed to be a businessman. Why are you so quick to fire shots at people? Is it because you're in a black community and those black lives really don't mean anything to you? Other than their money? Other than our money.
Then in 2018, Mr. Chow did the same thing. This time he shot somebody in the leg. So in 2018, it happened again. 3 times. This time, he shot the guy. Shot him in his leg, over $6 worth of merchandise.
3 times now. Before Cyrus Belton, 3 times this guy has fired his weapon on black people. 3 times. Never called the police. Was never arrested. Judge hid all this information. He wouldn't paint this picture of Rick Chow. I guarantee Rick Chow files as other or he files up under white with the U.S. Census. With the way we just saw this system work for him, it's almost like he was an agent, an op, placed in our community to do exactly what he just did for the benefit and the betterment of white society, racist white society. That's exactly what it seems like. I don't know why they hate us because they can't be us. They hate us because we're the chosen people. They hate us because we can move how we want to move. We're more athletic. We're more masculine. We're more dominant. We're smarter. We work harder. We're equipped to handle the sun. You know, they hate us because we've been here through the test of time. But this is sad. This is sad.
So first he shoots and misses, then he shoots in the car, could have killed multiple people, and third he shoots somebody in the leg, and then we are here today in 2023. That's when this case took place. In 2020.
So the 4th time around, he actually takes a black life. The 4th time around, he actually succeeds in taking a black life, and he is acquitted of all charges with these type of allegations and this type of history. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a black man with this history and a store owner. Can you imagine how we would have been reamed in that courtroom? With this history, can you imagine how we would have been reamed in that courtroom by a white judge in this white system? They knew this about Rick Chow. They knew this and suppressed the information.
So he shot Cyrus. Cyrus fled, shot him in the back. Yeah, he was so afraid for his son's life, he shot a man in the back. I'm sorry, he shot a boy in the back.
Rasmussen University did a very good job preparing us for how excelled it would be, giving us the resources that we need.
And that's considered justice. And for that, we have conservatives defending it. One thing is very consistent about all the stories I just told you about Rick. He's not just a storekeeper. That guy's a hunter. That guy's a predator. He preys on customers. Look at the track record. And each time he shot, there were people trying to get away from him. Why? Because he was the one armed. He was the aggressor in each altercation. I don't have any stories of people attacking Mr. Chow, only Mr. Chow attacking others. Over what? $6 in one case, a beer in another case, another story, and then finally, a single bottle of water. That he was wrong about that the young man didn't even have. And that the young man doesn't have his own life. The judge granted the defense's request to suppress the evidence. And we got to wonder why they did that. Oh, we don't want to impartial the jury. We don't want to influence the jury with prior information that has nothing to do with that particular death.
It has everything to do with the character of Rick Chow. It has everything to do with the characteristical traits and the outbursts and the how can I put this? The temperament of Rick Chow, who was the defendant at the time. The courts could have proved this. They could have proved this. Why would the court system do this? Why, ladies and gentlemen?
But it does have something to do with that day because it shows a pattern of the same activity by the same guy? Why is it that this guy keeps having to shoot at people? Does he have to shoot these people? But see, if you introduce that evidence and all of a sudden, this becomes a different story. Worse than that, if you don't let that evidence into the courtroom, you don't let jurors hear it. Well, then we're operating in a fictional world. We're not operating in the reality of what's taking place when people come into Mr. Child's store. They become under surveillance, watched like an eagle, and if anything is suspicious, they become hunted and shot at. So
this guy already knows in the black community that he has his business in that he does not like black people. He's already convinced that black people are thugs, criminals, thieves, you name it. Our lives aren't worth a ball of water. Okay? So he knows that he's not going to call police. He thinks in this country he's just free to unalive us because that's what everyone in this country does if they're non-black. They unalive us and they get away with it. So what makes George Zimmerman right here 2.0 any different? You know, what makes him any different, ladies and gentlemen? They could have really put this guy away. Understand that Carmelo Anthony's trial is about to start. And Carmelo was actually innocent. Carmelo was actually self-defense. You understand what I'm saying? This guy right here was a loose cannon. A loose cannon. And they let him go. He's acquitted of all charges. A black life gone. Now it's just a civil suit. Now it's just money. Money is not going to bring that young man back. You know, it's not going to bring that young man back. And I'm not impressed with that lawyer. I don't see how the dad was impressed with that lawyer. You know, there's a lot of things here that I question. I question if that dad and that lawyer actually had some type of agreement, you know, allegedly. Um, we're living in times now where people will sacrifice, even children, for a better life and finances, allegedly. It's just something's not right.
Narrative that poor Mr. Child just trying to eke out a living does not paint the full picture of Mr. Child. Mr. Child is now a killer, and Mr. Child been trying to kill for a while. I think Mr. Child's an angry son of a bitch who wanted to kill a black person. And that's
all right. Insatiable says, as time goes by, it's going to be more people like that and Sheriff the Builder type guys every day and year. It gets worse. I believe you, but it won't get worse if we start standing up now. If we exercise that Rodney Hinton Jr. energy, if we become eye for eye, tooth for a tooth, this sugar honey iced tea will stop. It will stop almost instantly. They're only doing this because they know we live on a code to where we're not going to touch them because, well, they run the system and we'll get thrown up under the jail forever. Same thing Carmelo's going through. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you on that, Howard. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that, Wilbur Howard. I'm with you on that. Wilbur Howard says, please stop calling that Mr. Chow. You got it. Well, what do you want to call him? Let's give him a name. Let's give him a name. What do you want to call him? What should we call him? What should we call him? And moderators, if anyone comes in here putting all that victim stuff on the screen, y'all get him up out of here. All right, we'll call him a rice eater. You know what I'm saying? We'll call him a rice eater. A cat eater, something. You know what I mean? Vampire. A vampire rice eater. There it is, vampire rice eater. So this vampire rice eater right here has been had the mindset and the concept of a black life not mattering. And this is something that he's been wanting to do for a very long time. And it's almost like he had arrangements in doing this because they helped him along. They helped him along. He sells the store like that, he's up and he's gone. And so is Brother Cyrus. All this information they hid, they could have really put this guy down. They could have protected our kids, our communities. We need to own these stores in our communities. We need to accompany our children in these stores when they're ran by immigrants. We need to be there.
I think you finally succeeded in killing someone. Because I don't care who you are, $6 or $3 water or whatever, $1.25, $1.50 water is not worth shooting a kid in the back who's running from you. And even if you think your son is in danger, you just say, come on, son, let him go. You don't shoot the kid who's running away from you, whose back is turned towards you. Maybe I feel a little bit different if the young man was turned towards him with the gun. But even then,
or maybe we would feel a little bit differently if Cyrus wasn't black and that store owner. I would feel differently if the store owner was still the vampire rice eater and this was a white child that he shot in the back and unalived. I would want to see how white America would handle that and perceive that. They're only mad at Carmelo right now because Carmelo took the life of a white person. They're overlooking the fact that that white person put his own life in jeopardy by bullying someone, him and his brother. They're overlooking that, and we all know that they overlook they're just not accountable. They're not accountable.
and I'd want to see the evidence. And that's the thing. There is no evidence. There is no surveillance footage of the altercation when they caught up with the young man. There is nothing. It's just a testimony, oh my goodness, of the child. And the jury brought it. Now, the worst part of this case is, of course, Cyrus Belton losing his life. But the other horrible thing about this case is the defense was handcuffed. The defense could not testify. They could not bring in the evidence. The fact that police had warned Mr. Chow that his use of his gun was excessive, that his altercations with customers was excessive, but they couldn't bring it in unless the prosecution or
Why would you suppress that? Why would you suppress that information if this store owner has this history and he is now on trial in a deletion case, a murder case? Why? I'm black. If I had that type of background and I was on trial, they're going to use everything they can to keep me in their system and make me a slave. Why would they suppress that? Why wouldn't they paint this picture of who he really is? Why was his temperament and his ability to not control himself never ever brought to the forefront and or question? And or question.
unless the defense effed up and brought it in themselves. Because that's how our legal system works. Somehow the defense would have to accidentally open the door, which would allow the prosecution to bring in the evidence. And since they didn't screw up, well, justice gets screwed over. Self-defense requires the threat of imminent death. What about self-defense requiring that the person who's claiming self-defense wasn't a trigger-happy maniac who shoots?
I don't understand how you can actually shoot someone in the back and beat the charge. I don't understand how there wasn't a lesser charge of manslaughter on the table. I don't get that. I saw an ad years ago. This Asian massage parlor said no black people. Yeah, that's how they are. But they set up shop in our communities. They set up, if I had a shop, I would not allow Asian people in there. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Understand, I'm no longer eating Chinese food. No woman I will date will go to no doggone Asians, Koreans, Vietnamese, no nothing. Nail parlor, no nothing. No nothing. We are going to find somebody black online that does it. And I don't mind putting that money in their pocket because they are black like me. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
People over minor property disputes. What about that part? I think that's an important element to determine if somebody's truly fighting for their lives.
I don't want nothing from them, man. I will not spend my money on them. Boy, listen, I feed stray cats. I bet you I won't buy no kind of cat chow, kitten chow, puppies, no puppy chow, no nothing. No nothing. No nothing. If it's not black, it cannot have my money. And I'm not talking about a black immigrant, a Haitian, Jamaican, no none of that. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Not happening. Give me just a moment. You know, that's not going to happen. This is crazy, and this judge knew this. But oh, let it be a black person. Oh, let it be a black person. Let it be someone black. Oh boy.
Or just doing what they like doing, which is shooting at people, hunting people down. They chased, once again, they chased this boy for over a football field length and then said they were afraid of him. This shit sounds just like Ahmaud Arbery, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
But that story turned out a little different. This sounds like Natasha Hollins.
Mm-hmm.
And this story turned out the same, didn't it? What's different than the Ahmaud Arbery story and this one? Oh, I know what. The model minority? That different.
Listen, black people, we are free play. You might as well consider this country the purge. And you might as well consider us the hunted. I'm giving it to you now. This is the purge, the United States of purge. All right? The United States of purging black people. We are the hunted. We are their game. This we need to know. This we have always known, and it's a shame we have to pass this down to our children. But if we were to turn the tables and actually show these people how tired we were, what a hell bent life we all would have on earth. Here, black people are the ones who bring them the most business. That's here too. That's here too. But they don't care. They only care about the black dollar. They don't care about the black life. They love the black dollar. They can care less about the black life. We're game, people. We're game. This is the purge. This country allows white people and white immigrants to purge us. That's why I told y'all when ICE was out here doing what they were doing, man, sit on your sofas and enjoy the show. Stay out of these people's face. Because normally this country is coming after us. And lo and behold, and they hid the case so well. They hid the case so well.
So believe it or not, I'm actually going back to return my steam cleaner today. And it's not because it blasts through any dirt or grime in seconds. It has...
See, the way I see this, and I know, I may not be a lawyer, but I can tell you how I see it. If you leave your store to chase a 14-year-old over a bottle of water he didn't even have, you chase him for 130 yards, longer than a football field. You're the aggressor, sir, not the young man who ran away from you. In fact, remember, Mr. Chow was running with a gun in his hand. You know what I think? And this is just my opinion. I think Mr. Chow...
Why grab a firearm chasing a 14-year-old teenager? Why even chase the teenager? Why even chase the teenager? That's what I'm not understanding. Why even give chase? Why not just call your local authorities if you had a hunch that this guy had taken some of your merchandise?
I slept like a baby after that, too. Hell, he might even got off on it. I know that sounds horrible, doesn't it? I believe Mr. Child's a horrible individual. That's what I believe. He's a killer, that's for sure. That's not what I believe. That's what I know. That's what the court decided. But they decided it was justified. Why?
Because Cyrus was black. Because Cyrus was black. It was justified because he only killed a black person. It was only a black life. That's nothing. Move on. Go about your day. Nothing to see here. No sense in wasting taxpayers' money. It's just a black life.
I was afraid. Only thing left now is the civil case. To me, a civil case is bullshit. A civil case gives money, but it won't bring the young man back. In fact, even the people that say, oh, Cyrus had a gun, what difference does that make? Now, the young man was not a threat. The threat was Mr. Chow, the same threat who shot at someone in 2013 and 2015.
Danielle Barrett Sports Highlights. Happy Wednesday to you too. Happy Wednesday to you as well.
Same guy in 2018. Same guy. Same fucking guy. Let me ask this. Should someone's personal history of escalation or excessive violence be considered when they make a claim of self-defense?
Yes. Yes. If a person has a domestic history or a violent history, you know, normally they bring it to the forefront in any case. Why hide it here? What did this rice-eating vampire, what card did he have to play in the system for them to side with him here? Local business owner, blah blah blah. Okay, I get it, but this guy is a loose cannon with a firearm. This guy has. If you're just joining us, if you're just joining us, listen. This guy, yeah, I do agree. This guy he's been a loose cannon since 2013. Him and his firearm. He's been trying to unalive a black person, just like a Chud the Builder, and well, he succeeded, and his system let him. We are being purged. Now, black people, I don't know if you're comfortable being hunted or being the hunter, okay? But you've got to pick one. You've got to pick one in this country. It's time out for this. Eye for an eye. Eye for an eye. The same thing they did to Nat Turner when they unalived him. It's the same thing we need to be doing to them if we have to protect ourselves and we happen to unalive one of them. Skin them, burn them, and whatever it takes. Whatever it takes at this point to get that message across. This is tiring. This is tiring. We see police do it. We see police do it. But a crazy white woman by the name of Ashley Babbitt runs up on the Capitol January 6th. She gets unalived. Her family gets reparations. They're out here beating Capitol Police and they get reparations because her life is taken. This guy get accused of stealing a dollar bottle of water, didn't steal anything, and his life is taken and there's no justice. You know what I'm saying? Well, we got to make a choice. Either we're going to be the predator or the prey. You know what I'm saying? Shut up. Advocating for racism and mass murder is crazy. They advocate for it every day. And I said allegedly. I said make a decision. Either you're going to be the hunted or the hunter. Because that's exactly what this country is doing. Shut up. And if you don't like the content, get your ass out of here. You calling it crazy, but you don't think the way white society is unaliving us is crazy. You don't think the way we're treated is crazy. You don't think them changing congressional voting maps are crazy. You don't think not paying reparations are crazy. You don't think every time a black person is unalived in this country, unjustifiable, there's never any justice, just a civil suit. You don't think that's crazy. I think you're very crazy. I think you're very crazy. You know who they is. You vampires. You white people. Not white folks, white people. Caucasians, Neanderthals, Caucasus Mountains inhabitants. What do you want? Do you understand who they are now? Do you understand they? If y'all could run around here and say the N word, then don't chimp out right now because I'm calling you out as a Neanderthal. Freedom of speech, remember? Don't play victim. Perpetual victim alert. Don't play victim. Don't do it. And one more comment, you out of here anyways. Moderators, if that individual say one more thing, put the garlic and the sun on them. If they say anything else, put the garlic and the sun on them. Let's show them how much we care about his freedom of speech. If you say one more thing, put the garlic and the sun on them. Okay, I'm going to love this. Damn you and damn your Jesus. F you and F your Jesus. All right? Yeah, I'm glad you like garlic. Can we get some garlic and some sun in the chat, please? We about to boost this boy immune system. Oh, y'all got him up out of here? All right. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right. About to boost that boy immune system.
Or should that be off limits because it didn't happen at that moment? What I'm saying is, when you claim self-defense, do you open yourself up to being viewed in similar circumstances and how you conducted yourself? Or should we only look at isolated the moment to determine if that second was self-defense?
Oh, y'all can feel free to hide that fool. Y'all can feel free to hide that fool. You don't need to come back. Hide them vampires.
I think pattern recognition recognizes recklessness. And in this case, would recognize a fucking.
And you are so totally right. Boy, if y'all names was actually easy, I'm gonna just call you T. T, you are so totally right. That is my whole point. That's why I just told that boy what I told him. Let me show y'all what wisdom looks like. All right? Wisdom looks and sounds just like this comment that was left in the chat right here. Black people who pray to Jesus are suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. How do you worship the God your oppressor forced on you? How can you share the same God that your oppressor has? It makes no sense. Salute to you for that comment. That'll probably be the realest comment we get in the chat tonight. And that's facts. That's facts. Real talk. That's why I don't subscribe to that crap, man. I will wipe my ass with pages out of that Bible. Real talk. I will wipe my ass with pages out of that Bible if I run out of tissue paper, man.
Predator, a hunter of humans. Let me know what y'all think in the comments section below. My condolences to the family, to the Belton family. They lost their son, and I'm sure you go.
And we're gonna hear this one more time. I want y'all to hear what they hid from. I want y'all to hear what they hid. One more time. Watch this. This is who Rick Chow actually was.
Do people want the truth or not? Sometimes I don't know. You know, as people look at this Cyrus Belton Rick Chow case and they're trying to make a determination, they're only looking at the last couple seconds of it. That's all they're analyzing. They're saying, hey, did this guy have a fear of his life or his son's life from this 14-year-old?
Hey, Super Rich, you say this is fun, right? I'm waiting on you to get on my bad side so I can show you how much fun I'm gonna have getting your snow roach ass up out of here. If it's such entertainment, then get out of here. No one asked you to be here. Why do you guys subjugate yourselves to coming in here when you don't have to be here, period? We're not in your platforms, on your platforms, in your business, in your conversations. We can care less. We really don't care about you that way. We really don't care to be around you. You know, we're hoping segregation comes back. We're hoping segregation comes back. Well, I'm soon to get you out of here. Trust me, I'm soon to get you out of here. I'm looking for a reason. Please provide me a reason, you snow roach. Please provide me a reason.
That's it, that's all. And they're packing up and they're going home after that. But see, me, what I want us to look at in this video is the fact that they suppressed evidence, and that suppressed evidence is the boogeyman in the room. Not the jury, definitely not Cyrus Belton, but that evidence. See, right now they got it framed like we got this poor shop owner who's always under fire, and the mean blacks are trying to rob.
Moderators, if Super Poor right here, if he comments one more time, let's take him out of his misery. Y'all know what you do with an old dog or a horse with a broke leg. Get him on out of here. He comment one more time, get him on out of here and send him back to the vampire coop. Send him back to the Caucasus Mountains. Get him out of here. We don't need nobody in here spreading lights anyways. Get him out of here.
Him all the time, and he's just trying to make a living, and him and his son were scared out of their minds. So they reacted as best they could in the moment. And if you allow that narrative to be the only narrative that's laying there, well, of course, juries might be swayed by that. But what if there's more evidence that points to something a little bit different? That shows a pattern of Mr. Chow's activities over the years that show this guy, he was destined to take a life. He'd been trying to take a life since 2013. He finally succeeded, and he gave him a pass. The suppressed evidence is why. Let's watch this clip together. For anybody who has not seen the film, there'll be no shooting in this, but it will show you what led up to that fateful moment. Let's go. A bottle of water. That's what they're chasing him for. Because they think he took a bottle of water. He didn't threaten anybody. He didn't approach anybody. He didn't intimidate anybody. He didn't do anything except leave their store. And for that, he got chased beyond a football field. And then they say they had to shoot him because they were afraid of him. Now, the defense convinced the jury that poor Rick Chow, just a poor retailer, just trying to make it happen.
What if this was the reason that Cyrus took off running? Because Cyrus already knows or had knowledge of how Rick Chow was, this rice eating vampire. What if these stories are already circulating around his neighborhood and he already knew? You know what I'm saying? He already knew.
In the big city, where a bunch of bad people robbed from him, and he has to protect his.
All right, insatiable, that's what's up. And let's see. Bullets by Luigi. You gonna throw a fit again? No, I'm gonna just throw your Neanderthal ass out. Bye.
way of life. And more than that, on this particular day, he had to protect his son because his son was under threat of
Salute,
this
J-Dub.
14-year-old. That this 14-year-old was about to take his life. And Mr. Chow swooped in and saved the day by doing what
I told y'all these people have low IQ. They know by now they know I'm gonna get him out of here if they come. And they still comment and say what they know I'm gonna get him out of here. And they still dumb enough to speak up. They're still dumb enough to speak up. They know I'm gonna get him out of here on site. And they still dumb enough to speak up. See, they keep coming back. They keep trying, just like the rice-eating vampire Rick Chow that finally got him a black body, y'all. They keep trying. But over here, we gonna handle them. Over here, we gonna handle them.
he felt he had to do to save his son from being shot by the 14-year-old. So that's all the jury had to go on, was the witness statement by the son saying he saw the young man with a gun and he pointed the gun at him. And he was so afraid he told his dad, and his dad protected him. Well, what if I told you there was more to the story that they didn't want the jury to know about? What if I told you that the judge had our crucial evidence that puts a totally different complexion on this? What if I told you in 2013 a similar situation happened at the store? What if I told you in 2013 Mr. Chow said someone tried to steal a beer out of his store, so he had to shoot at him? What if I told you in 2015 that Mr. Chow fired 6 shots into a...
We're talking about the history of Rick Chow. The rice-eating vampire that was just acquitted of the unaliving of Cyrus Belton, 14-year-old Cyrus Belton. See, here's what that racist, nasty... I've been wondering this all this time. I feel like it had to be a setup. If you're on the defense, you know what I'm saying? If you're on the defense and you're accused of a crime, and it's a violent crime, normally they pull your whole slate. They pull your whole rap sheet. Had they did that for Rick Chow would probably be facing the death sentence right now as we speak. Y'all check this out now.
Totally different complexion on this. What if I told you in 2013 a similar situation happened at the store? What if I told you in 2013 Mr. Chow said someone tried to steal a beer out of his store, so he had to shoot at him? What if I told you in 2015 that Mr. Chow fired 6 shots into a car as it was driving away because somebody in the car stole a beer?
That's already 2 instances, and every time someone is fleeing him and he's firing shots. That's already 2 instances. Imagine if this would have been brought up to those jurors. Imagine if these jurors would have got wind of this. The judge chose to suppress this evidence from the jurors. Why? What better way to paint a picture of who this murderer is than to paint him in his attempts? I thought that's what history and a rap sheet I thought that's what it was about. When you're black, they use your criminal history against you. Carmelo has never been in trouble. They can't stop showing his brother's mugshot now. But when it's somebody white or someone who looks white, look what happens. Money Mike, what's good? What's good? The like button is free. I've been trying to tell him, Money Mike. I've been trying to tell him, brother. I can't make no money on here, brother. I can't get them to hit the like button. I can't get no subscribers. I don't get no love because I tell the truth. I can't get no love because I'm telling the truth rather than raccooning or being a grifter. I'm telling the truth because I don't give a damn who like me and who doesn't. As long as the truth get out there, damn the messenger, just get the message. As long as the truth is out there, damn the messenger, get the message. Salute to you too, Money Mike.
He didn't call the cops. He just sat in the car. No arrest. Then in 2018, Mr. Chow did the same thing. This time he shot somebody in the leg. So in 2018, it happened again. 3 times. This time,
Tyrone James. Yes, sir.
he shot the guy. Shot him in his leg over $6 worth of merchandise. So first he shoots and misses, then he shoots in the car, could have killed multiple people, and third he shoots somebody in the leg, and then we are here today in 2023.
No, you good, brother. I'm just painting a picture of what I go through online. The shadow bans, being able to make money, speaking the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm just giving you my rundown. This is what happens when you take to the internet and you tell the truth and you make the enemy the enemy. You know, that's actually what I'm getting at. So it's YouTube making sure that I'm not going to make anything anyways. And it's all these white racists that come in here who's going to make sure that I don't, they're trying everything they can to ban me. But you got Chub the Builder running around here saying the N-word, carrying the bear spray, pepper spray, and a pistol. And and I'm supposed to be getting banned. I'm the one being shadow banned. I'm the one can't make money. This fool just made over $300,000 doing what he did. And there's nothing organic or genuine about Chud the Builder. And look how these racists support him. Look what I go through right here. Just trying to make a living. Telling the truth. Empowering my people. And you have white people in here who are going to tell the truth as well. They know I'm not lying. And look what I go through just for honesty and discernment. It's YouTube. It's the way of the world. This world is wicked because we know who it is ran by.
That's when this case took place. In 2023, he shot Cyrus. Cyrus fled. Shot him in the back. And he was so afraid for his son's life, he shot a man in the back. I'm sorry.
In the back. If you get hit in the back, that's an open, closed case. You were retreating. You were no longer a threat. You couldn't have been a threat if you're running away. You gave chase and hit this individual in the back with this type of history. How did you get acquitted? How? It's not what you're unalive, it's who you unalive. As long as they're unaliving us, I guess it's okay in this country. We have to start going eye for eye. We got to do what Brother Rodney Hinton Jr. did, y'all. We got to do what Brother Rodney Hinton Jr. When they take one of ours, show them what it feels like. Show them what it feels like. We're all humans. We all feel pain. We all bleed. They say we all equal, right? Well, they need equal treatment. When we lose somebody, they need to lose someone equally too. We all need to be grieving together. We all need to be pissed at the same time. We always talk about spread love in this damn country. We would never achieve that. We would never achieve that. That's more bullshit than that Bible. You will never get love out of this country. Just like you'll never get God inside this country because it's wicked. And all of it was manufactured, and engineered by a group of racist white supremacists. And you got dumb, ignorant black people following through with this mess too. You got dumb, ignorant black people that's following through with it too. Men, we should feel like wet vagina. We should feel soft. We should feel like pussy. You know why? Because this is happening to our women and our children on our time during our existence. Think about it. White people ain't got to worry about that. We already somehow subliminally know not to touch anyone white. So these white men ain't got to raise up. They ain't got to fight for nothing. Why is it they're not afraid to touch someone black? A black woman, a black man, a black child? Have we not stood on business? Hell no. Have we not made an example to say we're tired? Hell no. Are we tired? I know I am. There's too many people missing at these dinner tables in black families. And these deaths are constantly being swept under the rug. All for civil suits. Money can't replace a life because a life is priceless. That laugh is priceless. That walk is priceless. Those moments you spend having fun with these individuals, talking to these individuals, it's priceless. They don't seem to understand that. Our life to them is that of a roach. That of a roach. Black men, this is a testament of our weakness. These cowards should be afraid to touch our children. These cowards should be afraid to touch our women. Truthfully, these cowards should be afraid to touch us. So this is more on us than it is on other groups of people. Next to Rick Chow, we're the next people responsible for Cyrus. Where the fuck are the men? What the fuck are we doing? How are we protecting men and how are we protecting these women and children as men when it's happening to only our women and children? What does that say about us? Y'all know I get on here and I tell the truth, man. What does that say about us? Listen to this.
Shot a boy in the back. And that's considered justice. And for that, we have conservatives defending it. One thing is very consistent about all the stories I just told you about Rick. He's not just a storekeeper. That guy's a hunter. That guy's a predator. He preys on customers. Look at the track record. And each time.
All right, Tyron Newsom says, I believe they are afraid of us, Mr. Uncut. That's why they are trying to. Listen, when you're afraid of something, you don't go near it. I don't like snakes. You'll never catch me near a snake. If you don't like something or you have fear of something, you're not going to preoccupy yourself with it. You're going to distance yourself from it. They're not afraid of us. They have fun hunting us. They're not afraid. Do not convince your mind that they are afraid of us. If they were afraid of us, they would not be taking black lives. They would be afraid of the repercussions from the black man. They are not afraid. And they have a justice system to protect them. They have law enforcement to protect them. They have the complexion for the protection and the neglection of us to protect them. They are not afraid of us. They are having fun. They know they can hunt. They know they can purge. They know we are free game. Free game. They know it. It's always hunting season. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to black people, hunting season is always open in this country. Always open. The only thing you can hunt every day that's never out of season in America is a black life. That's it.
And he's shot. There were people trying to get away from him. Why? Because he was the one armed. He was the aggressor in each altercation. I don't have any stories of people attacking Mr. Chow, only Mr. Chow attacking others. Over what? $6 in one case, a beer in another case, another story, and then finally, a single bottle of water. That he was wrong about that the young man didn't even have. And that the young man doesn't have his own life. The judge granted the defense's request to suppress the evidence. And we got to wonder why they did that. Oh, we don't want to impartial the jury. We don't want to.
They should have impartial the jury. They should have put all of that evidence out there. What's good, Frederick? What's good? They should have put all that information out there. All right, on to the next, y'all. I didn't plan on staying this long. Now we're going to go back and we're going to revisit this whole Carmelo thing, y'all. So this is on the original Queen Diva Shakur show. Carmelo Anthony's case has people divided. All right, let's see what we get.
Okay, so Cassie is gone, honey. Cassie said, I'm out of here. She's talking about coming to court. Can they really make her come to court? If she lives in a whole nother country, I doubt it. Especially not for a civil case. This is a civil case, not criminal. Okay, Reggie said Clayton is messy as hell for that. Isn't he though? Isn't he though? Reggie said, did he say he fell in love with that? Yes, he did say that. And that's another reason he wants to sue her for having that bitch Orson. Okay, low down dirty snakes. But anywho, let's continue. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now let's talk about the Carmelo Anthony case, okay? Because they're still in the process. As of today, they were still in the process of jury selection, and I believe it was reported that the trial actually will start, or the opening arguments will start on Thursday. So let's get into it. Now, I have a compilation of videos from people on TikTok and some news reports and all that. So let's just get into it. Like up, everyone, please don't forget to like and share. If you missed the morning broadcast, it was very important. Go back and watch it at your leisure. Okay, thank you.
Texas for day one of the Carmelo Anthony trial. Now, today and tomorrow is jury selection, and opening arguments for this trial are not until Thursday if the jury can be selected on time. Now, to give you guys an idea of what has already happened so far, this morning you had somebody who was kicked out of the courthouse for trying to film potential jurors, and you already had protesters here on behalf of both Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony, with the protesters for Carmelo Anthony coming out in greater numbers. Now, some quick pointers on this trial. What is not being discussed is whether or not Carmelo Anthony actually murdered Austin Metcalf. He has already admitted to that, stating that he acted in self-defense. But what is being debated is whether or not Carmelo Anthony acted in self-defense or whether he committed murder. Now, interesting caveat as well, because Carmelo Anthony was only 17 years old when the killing occurred, he is ineligible for the death penalty. So even if he is found guilty, the maximum sentence that he's going to get is life in prison. Now, Carmelo Anthony is already facing a first-degree murder charge and was initially held on a $1 million bond that he did petition to get reduced to $250,000. He cited financial difficulties, and a Collin County judge ended up reducing that for him. So he has since been on house arrest and out on bond after being issued that.
Now, that was my first sign of hope for him. So how do we make them afraid of us, Mr. Uncut? Return their energy, reciprocate their energy. Have to read between the lines on that one. I got to watch what I say. But all that energy should be reciprocated. Biggie Smalls said, "It's bleed just like us." Imagine me being shook by a guy who breathes the same air as me. Real talk, man. Real talk. But what gave me hope with Carmelo Anthony in the beginning was the fact that the judge did see fit to lower the bond from $1 million to something like $250,000, something like that. You know, and it was a black judge, and the racists did not like that. They did not like the fact that sister actually lowered Carmelo's bond significantly. Dougie in the house. What up, Dougie? What up, Dougie? You know what I mean? But that's what they do. So we have to return that energy, man. We have to return. We can't sit around here scared of a system, man, that ain't scared to put us away. They're going to put us away regardless. You know what I'm saying? But we got to think about the lives and the generations of black that come after us. So if we're paying homage to our ancestors for putting up a great fight and liberating us, then what the hell do the generations after us have to pay homage to us about when we're gone? Not a damn thing. Because just like Obama, we let all this happen on our watch. Just like Barack Obama, we let all this happen to us and our people on our watch. That's all I got. That's all I got. Y'all know I'm going to tell it like it is. That's all I got.
A lot of the controversy in this case did surround the GoFundMe that was created by Carmelo Anthony's family. Now, the family raised over $500,000, and it was found out that they were living in a home that was almost $1 million. A neighbor alleged that they had bought a new vehicle, and a family spokesperson stated that they were going to be utilizing these funds for security, legal defense, and also for the fight against white supremacy, stating that the criticism, the harassment, and threats that Carmelo Anthony were receiving after the stabbing incident were a direct result of white supremacy and racism in the nation. Now, simultaneously, the Metcalf family was also dealing with quite a bit of harassment and threats as well, and they were swatted 3 separate times, just to give you guys a reminder of what happened in the lead up.
Are we forgetting that the Metcalf father showed up to the press conference of Carmelo Anthony's family? When he was ordered not to be there, he was removed by the sheriff. Are we forgetting this? Are we forgetting how they took to the news to try to propagate and tell their story first, knowing that their children were bullies? Were bullies. Jeff Metcalf, we know what you do to those children. We know why the mother of the Metcalf twins separated from you. We know exactly what you are and what you do to children. No different from the Epstein family. So we know.
To this case. Now, again, there have been extremely strict rules imposed on the media for this trial. And just to give you guys an idea of how secure they are trying to keep the courthouse grounds, the entire road behind me has been blocked off. They have specific places for protesters. There's also a strict curfew, and nobody can be on courthouse grounds from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. And law enforcement has also secured a separate entrance for Carmelo Anthony and his family to exit and enter the courtroom. So an idea of, again, not only the strict gag order that has been put in place by this judge, the strict media rules, but also the other levels of precaution that are being taken to ensure that everybody in the courthouse and around the courthouse is safe and protected. So keep following along all week because I will be on the ground covering this trial. Keep following me for more updates.
All right, y'all. So we have just wrapped up day one at the Collin County Courthouse for the Carmelo Anthony murder trial. As you can see, that is the courthouse in the back of me. And when I tell you it has been a long day, please believe me, this is what we're looking at. They had over 600 individuals to show up today for jury selections. Collin County, you showed out and did your thing for both. This is good for both sides, right? For both the state, the prosecution, and the defense team. Here's the thing. We didn't get a lot of movement on that. We were almost 4 hours delayed today. So what's happening is they were able to narrow it down to 500 people. They're going to come back on Wednesday morning if they are confirmed.
How many of these people are people who absolutely know nothing about this case? Or how many of these people are people who have not already developed some type of biasness for Brother Carmelo Anthony? How many people are black that you're interviewing for witnesses? How many people are going to look like Carmelo and understand Carmelo's walk of life as they're sitting in that juror's box with Carmelo's future and life in their hands? So how do we make them afraid of us, Mr. Uncut? Phone died, didn't hear your answer. We have to reciprocate their energy. Reciprocate their energy. Again, Biggie Smalls said, N-words bleed just like us. Picture me being shook by a guy who breathes the same air as me. Picture me being afraid of a guy who breathes the same air as me. We have to reciprocate their energy. We all need to channel that Rodney Hinton Jr. blood. I'm going to leave that there. If it's okay for them to do it to us, then, well, it does paint a picture that since it's legal and justifiable, you know, maybe it's okay. I'm not going to say that R word, but I'm going to leave that there. I think you understand me. You're a very intelligent brother. I've been rocking with you for a minute. I know you got me. I know you got me. I'm reciprocate the energy. They should know how it feels. They should know how it feels. Reciprocate the energy. If a racist come up to you shouting racial remarks at you, do you just shut down and walk away? Or do you reciprocate the energy? We have to reciprocate the energy. If you throw a rock at me, I'm going to throw a stone at you. The energy at this point, in order to save lives, it has to be reciprocated. They already have it in their heads that they can do this to us. They know they run the system. They know they run the government and make the laws. They already know. They're playing from a different deck. They're playing from a deck of privilege. We're playing from a deck of survival. It's a difference. Privilege never outlasts those who know how to survive. Don't you think that would start a? They've already started it. We've been at this with them since when? Since when? Since when? I mean, we want to go back to 1492. We want to go back to 1619. We want to go back to 1865. We want to go back to 1964. I mean, where do you want to go with this? Where do you want to go with this? You want to go back to the 3rd century? Literally 300 AD. We've been going through it with it. It's been that. It's been that. So the question is, when do we start to fight back? When do we start to fight back? They're still yelling since 1776. And we're still yelling since 1619. Okay, so I mean, think about it. Think about it. Sometimes you gotta let people know shit is real in the field, man. And regardless of whether who or what catch time, there's always a chance that the glove won't fit, so they must have quit. OJ, we just got to do something. We can we as the men, we can't keep allowing this to happen. We cannot. It is a failure. It's weakness on our behalves. These women and these children were put here to be protected by us. That's why we were ordained. We were ordained to be black men. We were made to be black men because we're built for it.
They will be either confirmed or denied. If they are confirmed, they come back 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday. It's going to be a very long day. Interesting enough, listen, there was some white males on the jury, or that stood as potential jurors, that did not agree with the judge about the law, and they said, you're talking about the law, and we understand the law.
Ever since we seen Rodney King get his ass whooped on live TV, we should have fought back then. Exactly. 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 And we did fight back then. We just lost our steam. We fought back then. We lost our steam. It should have never stopped from Trayvon Martin. It should have never stopped from Michael Brown Jr. It should have never stopped for Sandra Bland. It should have never stopped for Breonna Taylor. It should have never stopped for Rakita Boyd. You understand what I'm saying to you? It should have never stopped. It should have never stopped. What Rodney Hinton Jr. did is what we need to be doing. So let me ask you something. When that Alabama riverboat brawl was going on, were they just supposed to sit around and watch that black security guard get his ass whooped? Or was that brother supposed to dive in that water, swim over there like a black Michael Phelps, and whoop some ass on his brother's behalf? I respect those young men more for whooping ass and taking it to them races. Cincinnati, Ohio, or Cleveland, Ohio, wherever that was, with the white Russian slapping the black guy, the Cincinnati brawl. I respect all those black people who got on them 3 white people asses. I really respect the brother who knocked Holly White ass out. Gave that white heifer some NyQuil. Whop! Put her to sleep. Yep, I really respect that brother that clocked that hoe. I sure do. I sure do. And that's the energy we need to keep, regardless of gender, regardless of anything. If they do it to us, damn it, they want it to themselves. Do it to others as you would have them do it to you. Other than that, fuck around and find out. Real talk. I'm not condoning violence. I'm just stating common sense logic.
But this country has a complicated history when it comes to law, because our law has been very unfair to people of color. Woo, y'all.
Carmelo Anthony trial start today. The young teen, Frisco, Texas.
Well, it would be safe to assume that those Caucasian men who made those statements will absolutely be stricken from the jury pool. Okay, the prosecution definitely is not going to want them on the jury. Okay, please pay attention.
Charged with murder of Austin Metcalf. Just for the record, Carmelo Anthony was the victim. Carmelo Anthony was the victim the whole time. Carmelo Anthony was the one who was attacked. Y'all listening to his attackers. His attackers are the ones who are saying, oh, yeah, he said, touch me and see what happens. Those are his attackers. The only thing that's going to be argued in this case,
if someone tells you, touch me and see what happens, who's wrong? The person who said, touch me and see what happens, or the person who was dumb enough to actually touch the person? If someone tells you, touch me and see what happens, why are you going to touch them? What makes you better than them? What makes you sense that they can't protect themselves? Or they're not going to protect themselves if you disrespect them and touch them? That's a warning. He's diffusing the situation. Touch me and watch what happens. He's telling you, I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to protect me. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that I don't get hurt right now. Thanks to everyone who has hit the like button. We appreciate you all. We appreciate all the support. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for hitting that like button. And thank you for joining us and being a part of the conversation. And thank you, Money Mike, for coming back and joining the tribe and, you know what I'm saying, picking up where you left off, brother. You've been missed, my man. Trust me, you have been missed. I've been asking about you for months.
Is whether the measure of self-defense matches the attack. That's the only.
And also, they supposedly have video footage that they never released publicly. And I believe they didn't release it because it absolutely shows the truth.
Exactly. That's the only reason they're going to suppress the truth in this case, or suppress any video, because it does not make the defendant, the Metcalfs, look good. There's other accounts of students at this school complaining about these two individuals being bullies because they were bigger than everyone else. Bigger. Do y'all understand that each one of them had at least 100 pounds plus on Carmelo Anthony? Do y'all understand Carmelo Anthony is only 5'8", about 140, 45 pounds? Do y'all understand these guys was almost 6 foot and over 200 plus pounds? And y'all are talking about, why didn't Carmelo throw hands? You're only supposed to meet the amount of force with the amount of force given. Damn all of that. Y'all want Carmelo to get picked up and slung around by a rag doll? I think Carmelo made the right choice, and I would have made the same choice as Carmelo. I would have made the same choice. Only thing that he did differently from me, allegedly, if I was put in that position, I'm going for the neck piece. I'm going for the jugular. That is the only thing that I would do differently in that case if I was surrounded by two races and I had to try to fight my way out of it. I'm going for that jugular. I'm going for that neck piece. Now I only got one of y'all to deal with. Square up. What's up? You've got the right to protect yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all got white society, this white government, these white people, these white laws, white judges, white police officers, white races, making y'all think that y'all do not have the right to protect your blackness. So this trail is arguing what is self-defense and what isn't. So what is your definition of self-defense, Mr. Uncut, in legal terms? Being able to protect yourself when you are being attacked or you are at a disadvantage. If someone is absolutely threatening harm to you, if someone walks up to you and starts strangling you right now, are you going to be afraid of catching a case and having to argue self-defense? Or are you just going to do what you need to do to get them up off you? Because that happens to me, someone's losing their life. and I'll argue the rest in court. You know what I mean? I'll argue the rest in court. If that happens to me, someone is losing their life, and I will argue the rest in court. At least I'm here to argue. At least I survived. I told you, privilege will never outlive those who survive. Privilege and entitlement will never outlive or endure those who survive. When you go into survival mode, you're liable to do anything just to make it. We're the only group of people built like that. Look how long we've been going through it and making it. Can't keep being afraid of these people, man. You can't.
But let's continue.
I think that's up for argument. And if multiple people attack you, and these people have about 50, 60 pounds on you, and you on top of some bleachers, it's reasonably. You can believe that your life is in danger. One of them could have hit him. He could have fell, hit his head, fell down the bleachers, and died. So Carmelo Anthony was the victim the whole time. He was the one under attack. And if Carmelo Anthony was white and the attackers was black, most of y'all would understand that. Most of you wouldn't even argue it. You would be screaming it was self-defense.
I absolutely would. They absolutely would, and we all know it. We all know it. The devils view law so differently when it's one of them against one of us. When it's them that is the accused, it's always so much empathy and sympathy and understanding. Oh, woe, it's me. It was self-defense. But then when one of us claims self-defense, even when it actually is, they will sit there and act as though you're a cold-blooded murderer. This is what they do. And it even goes along with the stand your ground laws and the castle doctrine. Even when black people have absolutely been within their rights to exercise stand your ground, they have been sent to prison.
And that's absolutely correct. That justice system means it's just us. We're out here on by ourselves on our own. It's just us. It's just us that has to survive. It's just us that goes through this. It's just us that's losing loved ones. It's just us wondering why the hell these people hate us so much. It's just us. Not just this. It's just us. And when we realize that we're not going to get any justice, and we realize that it's just us, then maybe we'll step our game up. Maybe we'll step our game up. That was real talk right there, Dougie. They have too many of us brainwashed with religion. You know what I'm saying? BS, turn the other cheek. I believe in eye for eye. I'm right there with you, Money Mike. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. These people would not think twice about taking one of us out if they had to. And they're going to make up a little lie. They're going to sprinkle a little crack on you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to throw a little gum at you. And they're going to sell it. He was attacking me. He aimed something at me. It was a bad drug deal. Gang violence, gang violence. They're going to do whatever they got to do. Cry little white tears. They're going to do whatever they got to do so that the system plays out on their behalf. Black people, it's time for us to do the same damn thing. So we ain't crying. We ain't crying.
And that's why we should all be very concerned. And also, speaking of Mr. Chow, do you all know that a Caucasian lady posted a video, and I don't know if it's true or not, because according to Chat GPT, there's no verified reports, but that doesn't mean it isn't true. But the lady said that Mr. Chow shot 2 other people. Did you all know that? And she says that the jury was not allowed to hear that evidence. He shot 2 other black people, according to her. Now, I don't know if she's lying or not.
Regina Myers, salute, salute.
But that's what she said. Okay, I'll go to the video momentarily because I saved it on my X account. But let's continue.
Would be saying Carmelo Anthony is a hero. He fought off those thugs. Carmelo Anthony wasn't the thug. They were the thugs. They were the thugs. They were the ones who were attacking him just because of where he was sitting, and he refused to move because they told him to. He didn't have to move. But he was in his right to stand his ground when they attacked him.
Now, let me tell you something. That is exactly what they were saying. Mm-hmm. They were saying a lot of white people were...
They're just mad because this black this black teenager didn't move when two white teenagers with absolutely no power, just white skin, told him that he had to move. I would have looked at him like, who the fuck are you too? I ain't got to move. You move your snow roach ass. I ain't got to move. I would have had that same energy. That same energy. They didn't have to approach. Realize if they never come 2 tents down to the tent that Carmelo Anthony was under, if they never approach him, this never happens. Realize if those store owners with Cyrus Belton never ran out of that store, Cyrus never dies. But the white community does not focus on that. They don't focus on accountability. They don't focus on accountability. You stay in that store, Cyrus still alive. You stay under the tent you under, leave Carmelo alone, Austin Metcalf is still alive. For every action, there is a course of reaction.
Saying when it first happened that he should just have moved. So they really think that black people have to do whatever they tell us to do. You see,
there it is. Regina Meyer says, minding your business saves lives, white folk. I couldn't have said it better myself. Go ahead, sister. Go ahead, sister. Go ahead, sister. I couldn't have, boy, as uncut as I am, I couldn't have said that better myself. I could have said that better myself.
This is why they feel comfortable walking up to us and asking, who are you? Do you belong here? Who are you here to see? Where do you live? Can I see your ID? Because they really think that they have power and control over us. Okay, that's really what they think. That, oh, he should have just been an obedient little Negro and gotten up and left and moved. Now, in hindsight, I wish that he had. But the bottom line is he didn't have to. And they also tried to paint the narrative that, oh, because he didn't go to that school, he should not have been sitting under the tent anyway.
And that's false. I ran track for years, ever since elementary school on up through high school. Never, not once, did we have assigned tents, sides, bleachers. A lot of people in our neighborhood went to these schools that we competed against. So we would walk around and chill with our friends from our neighborhood until it was time for our meet to take place. There was no designated, you would see people from each school hanging together, walking together, chilling together, although we have to compete against one another. Most boxers are best friends. They still have to compete when they're in the ring. Outside of the ring, they're still friends and associates, just like a lot of these state attorneys and prosecutors and public defenders and judges and so forth. A lot of your police, you know, they're friends. We always hung up under different tents, hung up under different sides. Always. There's not. It's not like your enemies. It's not like your adversaries. It's not as deep as say basketball or football or baseball. You're running track. You're competing against your friends. You're competing against people in your neighborhood you grew up racing in the street against. Let's see who faster. These are all people you're used to. So this crap about he should have been under that tent, it was raining. One of the facilitators told him to go under that tent. There's numerous records, accounts of him and other witnesses saying that he was chilling under the tent, trying to dry off, and he was on his phone. He was on his phone. See, Blockbuster says, I always went to different tents to talk to the ladies. See? So this whole narrative is just complaining ass white people playing victim. They want to come here and say it's us that's being perpetual victims. It's them because they can't admit when they are in the fucking wrong. It has nothing to do with an assigned tent doing a track meet. And it wasn't at a school facility. It was something like a YMCA or some type of community structure.
it's BS because different schools show up at track meets. Okay, because they may have their school, may have people that are competing. And so they come to watch. That's just how it's always been. Okay, we did the same thing when I was in high school, and there's no designated area that you specifically have to sit under this bench or this on this side of the bleachers or under this tent because that's where your school is. Okay, they were being bullies, and they called him the N-word. The funny thing is,
then in your opinion, why do they see us as a threat when they see us as nothing but roaches they can squash? That's one only a racist can answer. That's why I don't think they fear us. If they fear us, they leave us the fuck alone. I don't think they fear us. They don't even fear repercussions for what they do to us. They just know it's gonna be a civil suit and some money and they're gonna walk free. They don't fear us. They don't fear us. They are hunting us. They are messing with us because they want to put fear in us. Just like that Bible puts fear in us. Just like their white justice system puts fear in us. Just like their penal system, jail and prison, puts fear in us. Just like their laws put fear in us. Just like the KKK, Confederacy, white supremacy, and all these people put fear in us. They are fucking with us to put fear in us to keep us afraid of them. And we're not returning the energy. So that must fucking mean we are fucking afraid of them. They got their point across. They got their message across. What the fuck about ours?
nobody's talking about that because it was also reported by people who claim to have seen what happened that they called him the N-word. Okay? They were definitely bullies. Because while we're both
Black people, y'all get this crap out of y'all head. These people are not afraid of us. These people don't even take us serious. You know what I'm saying? These people don't even take us, damn it, serious. These people are not afraid of us. This is child's play to them. This is entertainment to them. This is no different from hunting goddamn wild pigs or wild deer to these damn people. We've always been their targets. If they wasn't afraid of us then, why the fuck are they afraid of us now? And our ancestors fought them bastards harder than we ever fought them, and they ain't put no fear in them. So how the hell are they afraid of us and we laying around dormant letting this shit happen? Y'all to convince y'all minds that these motherfucking people scared of y'all? Huh? Keep thinking that. Keep thinking that. Keep thinking they're afraid of you. Keep thinking that. You're afraid of them, that's why you won't fuck with them. Huh? You're afraid of them, that's why you won't fuck with them. People ain't afraid of you, man.
them attacking him. They snatched his phone. Okay, they pushed and shoved him and punched him, according to Quanell X, and I absolutely believe that's what they did. You see, the thing of it is, Carmelo is smaller than them, and I believe that he was absolutely afraid. Now, had that been a big black teenager who was their size or bigger, who was from the streets, that would have turned out differently because he probably would have just beat their butts and left it at that. Or better yet, maybe they wouldn't have tried him. But they looked at Carmelo as weak, and that's why they both felt like they could attack him and just talk to him crazy. But let's continue. That's just my 2 cents.
That's the only thing that's going to be argued in this case.
I agree with her 2 cents. I see your 2 cents and raise you 2 more cents, damn it. I agree with her. I agree with her. Y'all better get these crazy ideas out of your mind that these racist damn people are afraid of y'all. You don't mess with something that you are afraid of. I don't like snakes. I don't like flights, airplanes. I don't fuck with any one of them. Huh? I don't quit them. You're not going to mess with anything that you are fearful of. If you are afraid of a scary movie, you're not going to sit down at night and turn on a damn scary movie and watch a scary movie. No, you're going to stay away from it. I'll watch some comedy instead. These people are not afraid of us. These people are exercising their rights given to them by their damn forefathers to do exactly what the hell they are doing to us.
Y'all have a beautiful day.
Man, so trial for Carmelo Anthony in high school stabbing case begins today. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This case about to have people out here acting crazy. I'm already seeing it, all type of weird shit going on. Man,
this case, the conclusion of this case is going to be bigger than George Floyd, Rodney King, all of that took place in this country. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. And America knows it. These white people definitely know it. But if they let this black guy off for killing this white person, the white people gonna go crazy. If they let, if they sentence Carmelo to life, and we know that he was just defending himself, all the black people gonna go crazy. Oh, this country is about to go to shit, anyways, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't no sense in being afraid. Ain't no sense in being afraid. Hmm.
And I might be the only person out here that do not want us to be against each other. It's all humans, gang. Why are y'all doing this? You can say who you think is wrong in this case, but don't go off color though. If we want the world to be a better place for our kids growing up, y'all being against each other ain't gonna help. I'm mad that this trial even had to happen in the first place. I wish these two kids could have just got along, bro. We wouldn't even be seeing this right now. Instead, one life is gone and the other got to fight for his life in court. All of this could have been prevented if we just treat each other good. How hard is that treating another human how you?
All this could have been prevented had they kept their ass in that tent that they were under and left Carmelo alone. All of this, Carmelo, excuse me, all of this could have been prevented had Rick Chow and the rest of his dog chow eating gang, you know what I'm saying, kept his ass in his store and left damn Cyrus alone. So it's not about we're all human, we need to get along. Tell that to the degenerates. Facts, they might be afraid of us genetically, but physically, hell no. They manufacture and own all the weapons, ammunition, and having arms. There you go. Dougie with me. Dougie's with me. Now that's the type of person I want on my team when it's time to fight. Dougie understands. This is strategy, y'all. This is method of operation. That's what this is. But for us, it's principle of the matter. It's principle of the matter. Dougie, you are 100% correct. Correct.
Would want to be treated. I don't know if I'm being soft. I just want the world to be at peace. I'm tired of seeing violence happen. I'm tired of seeing people not like each other because of the color of their skin. All of this got to come to an end. You ain't gonna end it for the next person. End it for God. Facts.
I was just about to say he sounds like a Christian. I was just about to say he sounds like an indoctrinated Christian, and he just said, "Do it for God." Well, there we go. There we go. Turn the other cheek. let him put another knee on your neck. You know what I'm saying? Let him put another knee on your neck. Turn the other cheek.
Austin Metcalf died in his twin brother's arms at a high school track meet, and now over a year later, the murder trial.
Oh, Austin Metcalf died in his twin brother's arms. Oh! She made it just sound like Austin did nothing wrong to lose his life. Austin died in his twin brother's arms. Oh, what the fuck did Austin do? Why did he die in his twin brother's arms? Why did he die in his twin brother's arms? What did he do? Can we get to that? Let's see if they tell the truth.
Has officially begun. Here is a full rundown of day one, Monday, June 1st, of Carmelo Anthony's murder trial at the Collin County Courthouse in McKinney, Texas. First, let's cover the basics going into this trial. Carmelo Anthony, who is now 19, is charged with first-degree murder in the stabbing death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, with the trial presided over by Judge John Roach Jr. The stabbing happened April 2nd of 2025 at a track meet in Perkindall Stadium in Frisco when both teens were only 17 years old. A grand jury indicted Carmelo Anthony on a first-degree murder charge in June of 2025.
Did y'all hear her say why Carmelo got indicted? Did y'all hear her say why Austin passed away in his twin brother's arms? Did she just seem to skip all of that? Where's the accountability? Is she giving a factual rundown, ladies and gentlemen? Is she being honest?
And he has pleaded not guilty. He's expected to argue self-defense. Since then,
so I guess Carmelo just off this guy for nothing. I guess Carmelo was having a very bad day. He was losing at the track meet, and he just wham. That's how she makes it seem. See, I told you, they lie. They lie.
And he has been on house arrest and required to wear an ankle monitor after his bond was reduced from $1 million.
She got all this to say about Carmelo. Did she forget to do her research and get information on Austin Metcalf? Is that what she forgot to do? The snow roach? Huh? Did she forget to hold her own people accountable? Don't worry, the Reaper did.
To $250,000. Yesterday was day one, and it was just jury selection. Here's kind of how the jury selection actually unfolded. The day got off to a slow start. The judge began the morning by explaining the day's logistics and dismissing potential jurors who were not qualified for reasons such as criminal background, citizenship status, and this was from a pool of around 600 potential jurors. That process lasted around 3 hours, and it was done privately. Shortly after noon, Judge Roach addressed the remaining jury pool.
How many of those jurors are black? How many of those jurors know absolutely nothing about Carmelo's case? How many of those jurors have an undeveloped? How many of those jurors have a developed biasness against Carmelo Anthony because of this case? Salute to you. Why? This is so tiring, y'all. And I get tired of getting on here every day to point these things out. There's got to be more people in the world like me who can see through this, who see these people for what they are, who sees this world for what it is. We can't all be this blind. We cannot all be this blind. Maybe this is why they say we have a low IQ. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how they always twist the truth. Yeah, you didn't hear her say anything that Austin Metcalf did. Absolutely nothing. That's how easy it is just to put it on somebody black. If this case goes wrong, no matter which case, no matter which way this case goes, this country is going to hell in a handbasket, ladies and gentlemen. So you better be ready. You better be ready. It could be your child, it can be you. You better get ready and prepare yourselves. Y'all sitting here talking about when Jesus come back. You wait on Jesus. Racism will be back before Jesus come back. Another civil unrest, another civil war, segregation, Jim Crow will be back before Jesus come back. Huh? Now highlight that in your damn Bibles.
Which streamed virtually to attending members of the public in a separate room. So my understanding is that these people who came to just observe were sitting in a separate room, and it was supposed to be kind of live streamed to that room. He explained the role of the jury and emphasized the importance of compartmentalizing internal biases and hearsay while serving. Jurors were then instructed to fill out a 3-page questionnaire, which the defense and prosecution will use to narrow down the pool to around 250 people. Potential jurors who are asked to return will be notified this evening, Tuesday evening, and are expected to return for further proceedings on Wednesday morning.
We've been surrendering ever since the 60s, man. We've been surrendering to these degenerates ever since the Civil Rights Act. We've just been taking it and making excuses. And we think because we talk about it and point it out and show them and we've got proof that it's going to change something. It ain't going to change a damn thing. It ain't going to change until you start making them bastards uncomfortable. In order to get change, you have to make people uncomfortable. They are comfortable right now. That's why we're not getting any change. They're comfortable denying reparations. They're comfortable passing laws that keeps black people oppressed and afflicted. They are comfortable taking lives of black people. They are comfortable acquitting their own. They are comfortable in their entitlement, their privilege. They are comfortable while we sit around uncomfortable. Uncomfortable yet black. Uncomfortable yet black. Come on, man.
The judge ultimately expects to seat 12 jurors. The trial is expected to last through at least June 12th and will include Saturdays, with opening statements scheduled for this Thursday. So now let's talk about the scene outside and inside the courthouse. Before the
Okay, correction. They don't fear us. They hate us because they want to be us. We are stronger, smarter, adaptable, and all of the above. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about, you pretty-eyed ass woman. That's what I'm talking about. Now you nailed it. Now you nailed it. Go ahead, Sister Regina. Now you nailed it. That's what I'm talking about, pretty eyes. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah.
Trial began, the judge issued a gag order effectively barring anyone involved in the trial from speaking to any kind of media. Cameras, live streams, and video recordings are banned from inside the courtroom, but I know that sounds confusing. They're only live streaming it to the people who are sitting in the observatory room, I guess you could say. And demonstrators must stay outside a specific perimeter surrounding the courthouse. Think Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, like they were kind of forced. Any of the spectators or protesters were expected to stay within a certain.
If there's anyone in here who hasn't hit the like button as they enter, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Y'all see what YouTube do to me. I can't make no money on here. I can't get no likes. I'm not stacking my room anymore. I've had up to 22,000 people in my live stream. I'd be lucky to get 500 to 1,000 right now. Y'all help a brother out, man. Because I'm on here working. I'm giving it to you regardless. I'm still putting in the work regardless of the money, regardless of the likes, regardless of super chats, regardless of the gifts. I'm still doing the work, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm putting me at risk every time I put my camera on here and I speak up for us. I don't have a damn mask on. I got red down dreads. These people know what the hell I look like in public. I'm putting it all on the line for y'all, and I can't even get y'all to hit a like button. But if something happens to me and I die in the hands of one of these racists, y'all gonna play all my live streams back and want to give me my damn flowers. Oh, boo-hoo, he was right. Give me my flowers while I'm here. This is the type of behavior we have to stop right here. We have to cease and desist with this. Right here.
Distance of the courthouse. The judge also banned cameras, cell phones, and other electronic devices to minimize outside interference and prevent the trial from becoming a court.
White people are apex predators because we've always lived in fear of retaliating against them. So that makes them apex predators. Self-proclaimed apex predators. It's funny calling a human being a predator because no one should be a predator. No one should be an apex predator. YouTube, we're not talking sexual stuff when we use that word, okay? We're not talking, sexual stuff. We said apex predators, like animals. Have to explain all this stuff to YouTube. Y'all know the J community owns YouTube and TikTok and Facebook.
House spectacle, although it seems like it already has. Prospective jurors arrived amid very tight security, and outside a cluster of demonstrators held signs, waved flags, handed out flyers, all on the perimeter of the courthouse. Demonstrators turned out in support of both Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony. However, I follow someone on Facebook called Sarah J. Fields, and she was there at the courthouse yesterday, and she said about 95% of the people outside were there in support of Carmelo Anthony, that they were wearing his favorite color, purple. They had purple shirts and hats supporting Carmelo Anthony. The case has drawn nationwide coverage since Austin's death, with social media narrative.
Do they really do they really think that we're going to show up to support Austin? You know what? Let's show up to Carmelo's trial with a bunch of FAFO shirts on with hashtag Austin Metcalf at the bottom. If they want us to support Austin, let's do it our way. Let's put FAFO on our shirts, fuck around and find out, and then put hashtag Austin Metcalf. They're doing worse things than that with George Floyd memes. I'm cold with it. I'm heartless with it. I learned it from them. I'm cold with it. I'm heartless with it. And I learned it from them. So the black boy was supposed to let him unalive. Exactly. Carmelo did what he was supposed to do. Stand your damn ground. Stand your damn ground. I hope the ancestors bring this young man through. I hope the ancestors bring this young man through. I hope we're about to see OJ 2.0. I hope they let this young man off, man. This has got to be self-defense. I hope they let this young man off.
is largely centering on race and unfortunately misinformation spreading over the last year. Carmelo Anthony is Black and Austin Metcalf was white, and the case has produced deep division online over its racial undertones. A legal expert that was speaking to Fox News.
Hell, you use racial undertones just giving your narrative of it all because you never said what Austin Metcalf did for the Grand Reaper to come get his ass. You just made it sound like Carmelo popped off. She never ever said what Austin did. All she said was on this certain date, Austin passed away in his twin brother's arms. Why? 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 This is what these people do. Why did they hide that information during the trial of Rick Chow? Why? Why is she hiding information right now addressing Carmelo Anthony case? Why did they do this, ladies and gentlemen? Why do they lie about history? Why do they lie about our identity and where we are really from? These are things to think about with these people when someone shows you who they are. Damn it, believe them. Y'all steady running around, no, it can't be true. It can't be true. I know it can't. Yes, the hell it is. Yes, the hell it is.
Framed the judge's challenge as balancing demonstrators' freedom of speech against the defendant's right to a fair and impartial jury, keeping crowds at a distance so that witnesses aren't pointed out or threatened. It's worth noting, though, that according to that...
I don't want to hear this no more. I don't want to hear this no more. Y'all, I'm finna get out of here. I gotta relax my mind. I'm hoping I'll be back. If not, I'll just double up tomorrow, go a little bit harder, y'all. I have to free my mind of some of this stuff sometimes, and it really gets to me. It really gets to me. And, you know, I give myself at least 2 hours every time to come over here and try to make some money. If I don't make nothing in 2 hours, I'm not going to run my bills up sitting here. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know, get your one-on-one. Get your one-on-one. Get your one-on-one with the real indigenous spiritual most high, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay prayed up, stay blessed up, stay meditated up, stay protected, stay real, stay conscious, stay uncut, be inspired, be great. And you Black, man. So you already great. So just be you. The ancestors got you. They'll carry you through the rest of the way. And may the ancestors shine for Brother Carmelo. And may the ancestors bless Jimmy McNair and Brother Cyrus Belton.